Sales is the best job you can ever have.
Yeah.
Like, if people aren't selling for a company, what's keeping the company going? Like,
Right.
You're the last person to get fired if you are doing your job right.
That is true.
You run your own race, you make your own money. Like, the person sitting next to you is not making the same paycheck if you're doing more work than them.
Well, you're in control of your own destiny. Yeah.
So it's like, I just remember him saying, though, like, every single person is a salesperson. A doctor is a salesperson.
Yep.
A lawyer is a salesperson. They're selling their case.
Absolutely.
So it's, take pride in what you're doing, because a salesperson is not a pity job. Like, it is a great job.
Okay, guys, here we are on another episode of the Premier Podcast, powered by Premier Mortgage Lending. And we have two of my good friends and clothiers, correct? Kevin and Megan Harris with Tom James. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Michael.
All right. So just to give a little bit of background, I met Kevin and Megan probably about 3 years ago now.
Yes.
I bought a car, and along with that came a gift certificate to Tom James, custom clothing. Kevin reached out to me. We met, and now it's pretty much all I wear of clothes and suits that they make for me. So I wanted to bring them on because they've got a great story. That Kevin's been doing this 25 years. Meg, you've been in the business how long? 14. So they know what they're doing. In any sales, marketing type of position, you always have to deal with challenges that come with the economy, different markets, things like that. And anytime somebody can make it in any particular industry for that many years, you're doing something right.
Yep.
So I wanted to have you guys on, talk a little bit, and share with the public, share with our audience what you're doing to kind of excel and be awesome all the time.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with you, Kevin.
Sure thing.
How long, we know you've been doing it 25 years. How did you get into this particular business?
Well, it's 93, so
Okay.
it's now coming up on, I guess, 28 years. But
Wow.
I wanted to get in the golf apparel business.
Yep.
And couldn't find anything. You need to be kind of a scratch golfer to be in that business.
Sure.
Found this ad, and small little ad in the Hartford Current.
Yep.
And rest is history. I was Rookie of the Year that year in 93. Big part in the mortgage and real estate back then.
Yeah, I bet.
Some people listening weren't around in 93, but it was a great years back then. And just hit the ground running and always stayed in the top 1% of the company.
That's awesome. So top 1%, that's awesome no matter how many reps are in a sales organization. How many reps work at Tom James?
About 600.
All right, so you're in the top. You're under the top 10, obviously. Right?
Yep.
You're right there. That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. Meg, how'd you end up getting into this business?
So I actually sold books door to door in a different state every summer.
Yep.
And it was a sister company to the Tom James Company.
Okay.
And they called and recruited or asked me to come interview. And I always knew about it because the book people wore the Tom James suits.
Gotcha.
But just didn't know how it all worked. So I ended up with Tom James in Lubbock in Midland, Texas.
Okay, so you grew up in Texas. Mm-hmm. You were selling encyclopedias. You kind of fell into the custom apparel side of the business.
Yes.
How'd you two guys meet each other?
There's two different stories to that, Mike.
Megan, what's the truth?
She slipped me a room key is what I'm going with.
That's false. But we did meet at a national meeting with Tom James. It didn't start there, but a couple of years later.
All right. So you just met at a company conference meeting, something like that?
Good friends and colleagues from a distance, and then, worked into something much better.
Into a relationship, and Tom James made it to where we could work together, and we've worked together for 11 years and never been apart for 24 hours ever.
That's great. That's so awesome.
One of the only teams.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see many teams that, especially husband-wife couples that work that well together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic. I mean, Nicole and I run this company together, and we absolutely love it. So it's nice to see other couples that are doing the same. It's funny just to kind of go off for a bit. So many people out there that I talk to are like, how can you work with your wife all day long every day? I'm like, I love working with my wife all day long every day. I wouldn't expect it any other way. Do you guys get that same thing? Wife or husband, rather.
Yeah, no, we're super busy, and we both have our roles.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so successful. I wouldn't want to do it without her.
Yeah, it's funny. We're the same way. It's like we know what our job is.
Right.
And we stay in our lane.
And you stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
That's important.
I would say with this COVID-19 situation, we had a lot of clients calling saying, I don't know how you actually work with your husband or wife every single day, because it put people in a place where they had to live and work every single day together. But like Kevin said, I can't see it any other way.
Yeah, no, me neither. And it's pretty cool, right? Because it's just another example of like hard work and commitment.
Yes.
People think that being happily married and having a great marriage and, you know, loving being with your husband and wife is always super easy. Yep. It's not always super easy. You need to work at it just like you do everything.
Absolutely.
Sure.
You know, you need to, you know, and by working at it doesn't mean you're working at it because it's difficult.
Right.
It means you need to, you know, do things the other person needs. You need to listen to them. You need to pay attention to what's important to them.
Absolutely.
And that's how you create a great team. And it's nice to see in other people. So
Thanks.
you guys should be proud of that. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I was thinking something else right before I went off on that tangent, but either way. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So what's interesting here, too, is you guys got in the business at two very different times, right? So if it was 93 or what are we talking, 2006? 2008, right? At that time, 93, there's no internet, there's no, you know, barely cell phones.
It wasn't cell phones.
You know, right. I mean,
Not
if there
even a
was,
bag
you're
phone.
carrying around the bag or the big Motorola, you know,
Yep.
and then you get in and there's technology, everything else, right?
Yes. Yep.
So another situation where you've had to adapt and learn different things.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit, Kevin, about how throughout the last 28 years, you've had to adapt and change to still be in that top 1% of the company.
I think, you know, like any job, I was super structured.
Yep.
You know, I do the same exact success habits that I did when I first started. You know, and Tom James has that set up like any corporation, you know, has their mission statement, whatever. And I've just followed the course. I stay diligent about my small tasks every day.
Yep.
You know, I kind of believe in eating the elephant one bite at a time.
Yep.
And that's a daily thing with us. We're a small transactional business. So I focus on my controllables, my appointments, people I can get in front of, and then the rest plays out because we're successful at it.
What's a day in the life for you guys? So that's perfect. So you follow a routine.
Yep.
What is it? Tell me.
Basically,
what it is.
in the office at 7:30, no
Yep.
matter what. You know, try to get on the road within an hour,
Yep.
loading up the car with our clients' clothing. Meg's immediately doing her things on the computer. She handles all the details, all the electronic part
Yep.
of our job. I handle all the calendar, the clothing part of it.
Yep.
And get on the road. We try to see 7 to 10 people a day.
It's fantastic.
You know, we're on the road from 7 to usually 6, you know, 5 days a week,
Yeah.
sometimes Saturdays.
Yeah. Another example of what do you have to do to be successful?
Yeah.
Work hard.
Work hard.
Right?
And
It doesn't just happen.
No.
No.
It's super hard to stay focused and, you know, handle all your obstacles properly.
Yeah.
And
I would say something Kevin does really well that is it's a structured part of Tom James, and that's phone time every single day. 3 o'clock to 6, he's on the phone making appointments either for the next day or, you know, whenever we can see that client.
Yep.
And I think that has been a structured thing that has led to our success, because people so often just don't pick up the phone. Like, everybody's thinking of texting and emailing and everything else, but those can get so pushed to the side, and there's nothing like a phone call.
Absolutely. Or you get wrapped up in the day-to-day of, okay, I'm working with my existing clients, I'm working on what I got, but what happens when you do that and you're not always focusing on setting new appointments and new business, your pipeline just dries up and goes away.
Exactly.
So I actually wanted to bring something up to the audience that's watching, listening, just to kind of let them know a little bit about how this process works, right? So you said you're in your office at 7:30, on the road by probably 8:30, 9 at the latest to meet 7 to 10 clients.
Yep.
What these guys do is makes it so easy for the consumer, customer, client on our end. They'll come to my office. We'll go over different styles, suits, shirts, casual clothes, really anything I'm looking for. They'll measure me, show me all the different, I might not use the right terms, right?
all the different fabrics, details.
styles, whatever it may be. And then they just show up here again in a few weeks with them.
Yep.
You know, it's literally that easy. I don't know about most other people out there, but I had the same handful of suits in my closet for about 5 years because I didn't have time to go out and do all that. I also didn't know where to go to get like a different suit other than the regular like box stores or whatever else. So like what you guys do for people. We handle
your issues as well. You know, it's a key thing for a guy. Guys hate to shop, Mike. Any issues that come up, button falls off, hem comes down, something you're just not happy with, you don't have to run to the store. We're going to do it right here in your office. 5 minutes, you're back working, or you're working while I'm fixing it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Bring it right back. So we make it super
the convenience
easy.
that goes along with it is huge.
I'll say something with Tom James and just the way we're set up as a company. We've never had a storefront in over 50 years. And the marketing, there's no marketing put into that or anything else. It's all word of mouth. So all of our business has been built off of referrals. And you know, Kevin and I working together as husband and wife, but also male and female, it's just like another 1-2 punch of two different perspectives over your wardrobe. But also not just your day-to-day things, but if you had a convention you had to go to or whatever, we try to have you prepared for that before it comes up. So you're not running around looking for it.
We're just not selling you clothes. We like to make sure that you're prepared for any occasion.
Yeah, and not for nothing, you guys are great people, and you've become good friends of ours. Absolutely. So when you come in, we enjoy seeing you, and it's a very much relationship driven business as opposed to transactional. And you know what I would say again, in any real like sales position, the people that become the most successful are the ones that actually do become friends with their clients. You're not looking at it to make a buck off of selling Mike a suit. You know what I mean? At the end of the year, you're making money because you went out and you worked with clients and you did well because of that, but it's not just about that, and that's a big differentiator.
We enjoy working with you because we see you're happy with our product. And that makes us happy. And when I drive by on 95, always makes me smile.
Oh, on those billboards? Yeah, thank you. And you know, the other thing too that I wanted to point out, when you were talking about the convenience of it, a button, a hem, whatever it may be, you know, I put on like 15 pounds. They came up, they picked up my stuff, they opened up my pants, and when I lose that 15 pounds, I come back and do it again.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever we need to do. So
that's supposed to be behind the scenes, but
hey, it's real life.
Okay.
I am very transparent. I say what it is.
We've had a few clients that gained the COVID-19, so don't worry.
You know what I mean? I mean, mine was more like 19, 20, 21. It was a slow creep, but whatever. It is what it is. So I think it's great that you guys have a routine, have a habit, right? Have, you know, daily routines. Let me ask you this. Do you read?
Yeah.
I read a lot.
Yeah, I figured.
He's read 7 books since January 1st.
Yeah. I mean, most successful people, especially in any type of a sales position, tend to read quite a bit. It's because you're trying to, I don't know about yourself, but what my thought on it is I'm always trying to learn more so I can be better, so I can help people better, so I can offer more, so I can listen to the habits of other people that are much more successful than I am. You kind of think go along the same.
Absolutely. It's just feeding your mind with the right things. And today that's the most important time in my career over what went on with the politics as well as COVID-19. It's constantly in your head. So if you can put the right things, the positive things, and be positive affirmations every day. You know, I read positive affirmations every day on a card that I've written because in direct sales, it's all up to me.
Isn't it unreal, the power of like positivity?
Unbelievable.
You know, if you
law of attraction.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, law of attraction. We've talked about it before, that book, The Secret. I really like that.
Yes.
I have copies of it on my desk that I give out to people. I read it like once a year just to kind of maybe twice a year, like a refresher. And it's amazing. And I remember the first time I read that book, I thought it was a little hokey because it was like, all right, well, you know, these vibes you're putting out into the universe are going to come back to you. And I kind of discarded it after I read it the first time, right? And then I read it again maybe a year later. I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this an honest shot, because even if things don't miraculously happen like they say in the book, at least it's a better, more positive, happier way to live.
Yeah.
But it works. Because I did it and all that miraculous, crazy shit happened.
It does work.
I couldn't afford not to shrug it off. I had to, you know, embrace it. We watched it, read it, and then embraced it and just swallowed it, drank the Kool-Aid. And it's amazing. Like Sunday morning, right, we listened to our church online. Right after that, a guy texts me he says, I'm thinking of getting a wedding suit. I need a wedding suit. And I said, no problem. Well, long story short, the next morning, yesterday morning, he came into our office at 9:30, less than 24 hours later, and got his whole wedding outfit with us. And it's, during COVID, when my mind was in some other place, none of that attracted to me. And now, just in the last 5 weeks, Mike, I can tell you probably 15 stories like that.
Yeah, because now you're feeling
I'm not
good.
trying to promote the secret. I'm just saying.
No, I've been promoting it for a decade.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It
know nothing
works.
about the author of that.
But isn't that unreal, though? Like, when you're feeling kind of like, when you have like the scarcity mindset, and you're like, oh, I can't get any business. There's not enough business. Yeah. Nobody's going to want to buy new clothing because of COVID.
Right.
People are probably staying home.
No one's doing anything.
Do? Then you get nothing.
Right.
The second you just go, I'm going to shift the way I'm thinking about this, the way I'm looking at it.
It's totally different.
It's amazing.
Everything just starts coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
But even if that business didn't come in, wouldn't it just be a better way to live?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, another successful habit of another great habit rather of a successful person, right there. The reading, constantly trying to educate yourself.
Yep.
Meg, do you do anything on that end as far as reading, listening to podcasts? What kind of gives you more?
I do listen to podcasts. I also read.
Yep.
I had read The Secret a while back, and I kind of introduced that to Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm very big on goals and vision board.
Awesome.
And focusing on what you really want out of life.
Yep.
Whether, it's not always about business, but what do you want to achieve? I have pictures on my mirror.
Incredible vision board.
They're on his mirror.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
It's just incredible. Well, there's a Porsche with her sitting in the seat.
Okay.
Apparently, she wants to buy her 40th birthday at the end of the year.
Okay.
So it's in my mirror.
So
I see it every day when I brush my
there's a
teeth.
picture of him walking by one in the Porsche dealership, just because it becomes real. So if you see things and you visualize them, you touch them, you feel them, that's when it becomes real. So your goals become more true, and you just
more concrete.
More concrete.
She made one about 6 years ago. And not even 3 years later, since the board's still in my office. I mean, you and I talked about that card you had on your desk.
Yeah.
That board, we have probably 80% of the things on the board, and they're not small things. I mean,
No.
Her ring was on there, and it's just all kinds of stuff.
I actually just put 4 carrots that you eat
above
the ring.
Yeah, it's funny.
I
It
mean,
was right in
it's
front of
visual,
your phone time
but
every day. It's like,
But that's good. It keeps you focused.
Right.
It keeps you focused.
so it's
So what
like-
is on your vision board now? You've got you sitting in a Porsche by the time
I
you're
have
40.
the
What else you
Porsche.
got?
That's kind of for him and our end goal with Tom James this year. My birthday's at the end of the year, so it works out that way. But I also we want to finish our basement to our house. And we want to put a wine cellar, a workout room.
Awesome.
Just some more communal space in our house for when people are over. I also just have quotes,
I think that's great quotes. Just great.
You're right where you're supposed to be. You're worthy of everything you dream.
Yep.
If you can't stop thinking about it, don't stop working for it. Just things like that are all over the place.
I love
Tell
that.
them about your $100. You don't have to say the final number, but
Well, back when I very first started Tom James, I actually had written $100,000 on a dollar bill.
Yep.
And I put it in my wallet. And I had been working for a custom home builder, ironically, and I lost that job. But I was well on track to
make
that
your $100,000 that
$100,000
year. Yep.
And I took that down and put it in my wallet. I was also doing the Dave Ramsey thing where you use money in envelopes. And so, right out of college, I would, you're on a budget. So I'd go to the grocery store and that'd be my last dollar in my wallet. And I'm like, I can't spend that dollar. So I still have that dollar. But when I got interviewed at Tom James, Jeff Franklin was asking me, so, we're really goal-oriented in Tom James. Do you see yourself as a goal-oriented person? And I, of course, was in sports and everything else, so I've always had goals. But I pulled that dollar bill out, and I'm like, I actually had a goal to make $100,000 this year and lost my job.
Yep.
And here I am. And just that dollar bill, I think, kind of got me the job at Tom James.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, it
this
was probably
year,
a lot more than that. It was because you thought
Right.
to have the
Yeah.
dollar bill. You planned, you made goals, you set things, and he saw that in you.
Absolutely. I mean,
know?
absolutely.
Right.
But so this year, I just had it in my head that, wanted to make $500,000 this year.
Law of attraction.
That's just the goal.
Big money.
So
right.
this year, instead of writing it on a dollar bill, I wrote it on a $100 bill.
Yep.
And it's posted
It's
on
one of
my
her
mirror.
$100 bills, by the way.
Yeah.
But I just see it, and I
Yeah.
know it can happen.
You have to have it in front
no
of your
matter
face
what.
all the
Yeah.
time.
It's crazy.
You know, I do something similar. It's not like a vision board. I've been wanting to do that again because I did that years ago and wrote down different things. Not even years ago though. I did one like a couple of years ago. But what I'll do, there's one neighborhood in the town I live in that just it's got like 5 or 6 houses that are like these unbelievable
like
homes.
legit.
10,000 square foot homes, maybe more. I don't know. Never been in them.
Huge closets.
Huge closets. Fit many suits. But I'll drive through there.
Yes.
I'll drive through that neighborhood probably like once every couple weeks. You know what I mean? Just on my ride home or my ride to the office. Just to be like, if these guys can do it, I can do it. Anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
Right.
And the funny thing is I know a few of the people that live in that neighborhood, and I know for a fact that they started from nothing too.
Absolutely.
You know, so sometimes I think it's good to put whatever it is that you want, or goals you have, put it right in your face like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
Makes you
and then you
man
make it
up.
real.
I think too, with part of that, with what you just said, is one of the things I really love about what we do is we work with some amazing people.
Yeah.
And I'm
best
really
people.
service oriented. So is Kevin, and just to be able to serve people like yourself, but be able to retain the knowledge you have and that big thinking attitude, like that rubs off on you. I mean, the people you surround yourself with are the people you're going to be like.
No doubt about it.
No matter
That's why
what.
you always need to surround yourself
Absolutely.
with the right people. What I look for too is I try to always put myself around people that are much more successful
Yes.
than I have
It'll
been so far.
levitate you.
That way there, I'm like, it always, like,
You always feel like it's not enough.
no, well, not even that, because I try not to have that thought,
Yeah.
because I've caught myself in that before,
Yeah.
and that sometimes can be like
Can
the
be negative.
opposite of the secret.
Right.
It's like a negative
Right.
thought,
Right.
but I'll look at it and I'll be like, well, this guy's doing it.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk to him. Let me get
Exactly.
some of
You
his
can pick
knowledge,
their
some of his
brain.
expertise, figure out what their mindset is, how they approach things, and take a
Exactly.
piece from everyone. You know, I
Exactly.
read a quote yesterday from Elon Musk, and he had said, I didn't graduate from Harvard, but everybody around me did.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That way there, he's putting himself around like the smartest people.
Yeah.
Henry Ford said the
Henry
same
Ford,
thing.
I was just
You
reading
know?
that.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich.
That's
Yeah,
great.
he said the exact same thing about surrounding yourself with people that know so much more than you.
Right.
I don't really get it when people want to go around and be like, I'm the guy that knows everything. No way,
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
No.
I mean, I've just been trying my best these last
Absolutely.
42 years,
Humble.
but I want to keep growing and do better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's the right mindset. What other what else would you guys share with someone? Say someone younger who wants to start a business, who wants to, because essentially in sales it is your own business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Start a business, get into a career in sales, entrepreneurship. What type of advice would you give?
First and foremost, be passionate about what
Yep.
you're about to conquer.
Right.
If you're going to get into the mortgage business, whatever it is, make sure you're passionate about it, and make sure you have crystal clear goals
Yep.
and vision of what you want. Because if you don't have your goals right and you don't have your vision right, you're just like a ship without a rudder.
No doubt.
You're just going to wander around until you get frustrated and move on to something else, and it's going to be continually the same thing until you get that crystal clear vision
Right.
of what you want.
And along with passion, what made me, when you said passion, you have to actually enjoy it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
And when you
Enjoy
don't
what
have
you do.
when you don't have a vision and you don't have your goals right,
It's
you
hard
can't
to
even enjoy
enjoy
the
it.
job that you actually like.
No. Like, do you guys ever have the Sunday blues when you're like, oh no, got to go to work tomorrow?
Yeah, not
I don't.
Not this year.
No. But I don't
28
really
years, I can't say I
ever.
haven't, but no,
Yeah. I mean,
I know exactly what
sometimes
you're
if you're like away for the weekend, but that's different. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm never like, oh, I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm like, half the time, I'm like itching by
ready.
Sunday midday. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm making a plan for the week.
Where
This is
you
what I'm
start
going
a
to do.
schedule and
Yeah.
like it is I mean,
I get
we
like that when I'm
do
on vacation.
enjoy seeing
I
our
do too.
clients. Like that's
Yeah.
what makes this job really fun.
Yeah.
Is seeing clients and I feel like with sales, I mean, when I sold books door to door, I just remember my boss at the time telling me, sales is the best job you can ever have.
Yeah.
Like, if people aren't selling for a company, what's keeping the company going? Like,
right.
You're the last person to get fired if you are doing your job right.
That is true.
You run your own race. You make your own money. Like, the person sitting next to you is not making the same paycheck if you're doing more work than them.
Well, you're in control of your own destiny.
Exactly. So it's like, I just remember him saying, though, like, every single person is a salesperson. A doctor is a salesperson.
Yep.
A lawyer is a salesperson. They're selling their case.
Absolutely.
So it's, take pride in what you're doing, because a salesperson is not a pity job. Like, it is a great job.
No, it's awesome, and that's why I've always loved it too. It's like, I am in control. The amount of work I put out is what I get back.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And as you said, you were talking about enjoying meeting with your clients and being out talking to people. That's always what I've loved about this business. And that's the only challenge I've had over the last 9 months is normally I'm talking with real estate agents. I'm going to different events,
Right.
networking things, meeting with people.
So much
love
fun.
that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? I love it. And now it went to like Zoom for a while, and I'm like, man, I
need to see these people.
I need to see people. I need to like shake hands, hug people.
I
like,
want to feel your
have
energy.
conversation. Like that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the funnest part about it. But we're getting back. We're
Yes,
getting
we
there.
are. We're definitely getting back.
Yeah.
It's all getting back.
Yeah. So in summary, guys, the one thing I want to point out is that these guys are some of the hardest working people I know. That's why you're so successful. That's why your goal is to make $500,000, which is freaking unbelievable. Yep. I hope you do that. I can't wait to see you do that.
Yep.
Thank you.
And it's all about not quitting and always pushing and working through obstacles. And obviously, you guys have done that.
Yep.
One last thing I do want to bring up, right? You mentioned this to me the other day when we were meeting. Is in your business, you have a lot of existing clients that you work with. We've been working together for a few years. I'm sure you've got 50 of me, maybe more. I don't know.
We have about 550 rolling 12, they call it.
That's unbelievable. I don't know how you
You're one of a kind.
keep going. Oh, thank you.
You're definitely one of my favorites.
Good. Thank you. But at the same time, right? So that makes what I'm going to say even more significant. So you've got 1,500, whatever the exact number is, clients. But your goal on a monthly basis is also to generate new business.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you told me last month you picked up 26 new clients?
26
new clients.
Yeah, which, we're always in the top 1% in that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been taught you're going to lose 20% of your business each year.
Sure.
Something's going to happen. So you need to add 20. And if you want to grow, you need to grow. You need to figure out what you want to grow and put on top of that. So that's always been my passion. My first few phone calls each day are to new people.
Right.
I want to put one new person on the calendar every day.
Right. And one thing I'm going to point out, one thing I'm going to point out about that too is you guys have asked me for some referrals, right?
Absolutely.
And all I've given you is just people's names.
Yep.
Right? So it's just a name.
Yep.
It's not like I'm calling people, setting it up, and you call, you reach out, you make it easy. So, and that's not easy for you to do. I know on my side, when I reach out, whether it's new real estate agents, new clients, it's not always easy to make those warmish cold calls to people. And by you doing that and gaining 26 clients in a month, that's fantastic. And it's just another example of the hard work that needs to go in. So
it's one of the things I enjoy most of the job is definitely, as crazy as it sounds, I enjoy making phone calls.
I don't think it's crazy at all. I do too.
Most people wouldn't dream of having that be their number one thing in the part of their job, but it's what makes me so successful. So
I would definitely say the one thing that clients have said too, you'll hear them all the time. I mean, I hear them all the time because I'm with them, but they're always like, you are just pleasantly persistent. And I think that might be on his tombstone someday, pleasantly persistent, because he just is.
But you are.
Yeah, I'm just going to get the answers I need, and if I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and we're going to move on from that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being persistent.
No.
As long as somebody, in any sales position, you want to be persistent, you just don't want to be overbearing or too much,
exactly.
And you guys certainly are not. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy day to coming in here, talking with us. You guys impress me. The hard work, the effort, the energy, everything you put in a daily basis is something that anybody looking to get into a sales position or really any position should follow. The goal setting, having structured your day, and never giving up. Those are some of the strongest attributes of a successful person. And if you need any clothes, call Kevin and Megan. They made this really awesome suit right here. Got skulls on the pocket, my name right here, all this cool shit that I never even would have known existed. So thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it.
You're the best.
And if you need these guys, where can they reach you?
Kevin and Megan Harris, Tom James of New England.
Yep.
508-395-1458.
Yep.
And it's k.harris@tomjames.com.
All right. For all those young kids, how about Instagram? You have an Instagram handle?
We do have an Instagram account, and it's just TJ of New England.
TJ of New England.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.